Yes, hello students. In the last lecture we were studying how to solve inequalities involving modulus functions. So we discussed some simple examples based on that. So today we will continue with that and we will discuss some more further advanced questions based on modulus inequalities. Let's see the first question. We have already discussed 5 questions until the previous lecture. Today is the 6th question. The question says mod of x minus 1 plus mod of x minus 2 plus mod of x minus 3 is greater than or equal to 6, and we have to find the interval of x. Now here we can see that on the left hand side of the inequality we have 3 moduli, and on the right hand side there is only 6. There is no moduli on the right hand side. So left hand side is basically the crucial one. So if we equate to 0 the functions which are inside moduli, for example x minus 1 is equal to 0, we will get one value of x as x 1, x minus 2 is equal to 0, we will get one value of x as 2, and x minus 3 is equal to 0, we will get one value of x as 3. So 1, 2 and 3, these are the 3 values of x at which the values of modulus will vary, will change the sign at these values at 1, 2 and 3. So we will divide the whole real interval of x within these 3 values. Let's see how. Let us draw a number line. This is a real number line. Suppose this is plus infinity and this is 1, this is 2 and this is 3. So x can be here also, it can be here also, it can be here also, or it can be here also. So there are 4 possibilities where our answer x can lie. Let us divide the intervals accordingly. Suppose x is less than 1, or x is between 1 and 2, or x is between 2 and 3, or x is greater than 3. Now 1 is at 2 places, at these 2 places. So at one place I will consider the equal to sign also. Now 2 is also at 2 places. So at one place I will consider the equal to sign, and 3 is also at 2 places. So I will consider the equal to sign here. So these are the 4 intervals which are possible in which our answer x can lie. Now let's see. This is suppose first, this is second, this is third, and this is fourth. Now let us see. As I told you that towards the right side of the inequality there is only 6. So there will be no sign change. Now no change will happen towards the right hand side. And this sign will also remain as it is. Now let's start from mod of x minus 3. If I take, let's consider the first interval. If I take any value of x in this interval, suppose 0 is there. 0 is definitely less than 1. Let me put 0 over here in this moduli, third one. 0 minus 3 is minus 3 and mod of minus 3 is plus 3. So that means the equivalent function of this modulus will be 3 minus x in this interval. Now let's see the next moduli, x minus 2. If I put 0 over here, I will get 0 minus 2 is minus 2 and mod of minus 2 is plus 2. So that means the equivalent function will be 2 minus x in this interval. Now let me put 0 over here, it is 0 minus 1, that is minus 1, and mod of minus 1 is plus 1. That means the equivalent function will be 1 minus x in this interval. So this is the inequality which is found for the first case. Now let's see the second case. Between 1 and 2, suppose 1.5 is there, 1.5. I will put 1.5 over here. It will give 1.5 minus 3, that is minus 1.5, which is negative. So mod of minus 1.5 is plus 1.5. That means the equivalent function will be 3 minus x. Now 1.5 over here, it is minus 0.5. So that is plus 0.5. That means the equivalent will be 2 minus x. Now here 1.5 minus 1 is 0.5 plus ka. That means it is already positive. That means inside the modulus in this interval a positive number is only going on. So that means let me remain it as it is. Let it remain as it is. This is x minus 1. Now let us consider the third interval between 2 and 3. Suppose 2.5 is there. If I will put 2.5 over here, we will get minus 0.5. And in order to make it positive, I will have to multiply with a minus sign. So that means it will become 3 minus x. Now in the second one, 2.5 minus 2 is nothing but simply 0.5. Let me remain as it is. Let it remain as it is. Now 2.5 minus 1 is again 1.5, which is already positive in itself. So let it remain as it is. Now greater than or equal to 3, that is 4. 4 minus 1 is 3, 4 minus 2 is 2, 4 minus 3 is 1. All are positive, and that means they will be copied as it is. So these are the possible cases of the given inequality. The given inequality was x minus 1 plus mod of x minus 2 plus mod of x minus 3 greater than or equal to 6. So these are the possible cases to solve this inequality. Now let's solve one by one. We will take the case 1 first, x less than 1. This was case 1, x is less than 1. So in this case the inequality was 1 minus x plus 2 minus x plus 3 minus x should be greater than or equal to 6. So that means 3, 4, 5, 6 minus 3x should be greater than or equal to 6. So that means this is cancelled. X is less than or equal to 0. If we can see, this was x less than 1 and this is x less than or equal to 0. If I consider x less than or equal to 0, it will satisfy x less than 1 is equal also. So this is the answer for first case. Now let's see the second case. Second case is between 1 and 2. The inequality formed over here was x minus 1 plus 2 minus x plus 3 minus x greater than or equal to 6. So that means this is cancelled. Now this will become 3, 4, 5 and 4, and this is minus x greater than or equal to 6. So that means 4 minus x should be greater than or equal to x. So that means x should be less than or equal to minus 2. We can see here the interval was between 1 and 2 and we are getting the answer as less than or equal to minus 2. It is not possible. So that means the answer to this case will be x doesn't belong to 1 comma 2. In this interval there is no possible x, no real x possible in this interval. Now let's see the third case. The third case was between 2 and 3. The inequality so formed in this case was x minus 1 plus x minus 2 plus 3 minus x should be greater than or equal to 6. So here this x is cancelled and 3 is also cancelled. So we will get x should be greater than or equal to 6. This implies x should be greater than or equal to 6. But here the interval was between 2 and 3 and we are getting the answer as x should be greater than or equal to 6. It is not possible. That means the solution to this case will be x doesn't belong to 2 comma 3. So in this interval there will be no real x possible for this inequality to be satisfying. The fourth case is greater than or equal to 3. Let's see. Here the inequality formed was x minus 1 plus x minus 2 plus x minus 3 greater than or equal to 6. So that means 3x minus 6 should be greater than or equal to 6. So that means 3x should be greater than or equal to 12. So that means x should be greater than or equal to 4. So here we want x should be greater than or equal to 3 and we are getting the answer as x is greater than or equal to 4. So clearly this inequality satisfies the given condition also, greater than or equal to 4. So this is the answer for the fourth case. So we can say in the nutshell the final answer will be x belongs to minus infinity comma 0 union 4 comma infinity. If you put 0 or 4 over here, we will get the equal to case, greater than or equal to. If you put 0, we will get 6 greater than or equal to 6. And if you get 4 also, if you put 4 also, then also we'll get the same thing. 6 is greater than or equal to 6. So that means this is the answer for this question. So you can see this was further complicated question as compared to the previous questions. Let's see some more examples over here. Let's see the seventh question. The seventh question says x square minus mod of x plus 2 plus x should be greater than 0. Now we have to find the interval of x. Now here clearly two cases will be there. The case 1 was x is less than minus 2. So if I put minus 3 over here in this interval, I will get minus 3 plus 2 as minus 1, and mod of minus 1 is plus 1. That means I'll have to put a minus sign outside the modulus. So this will give us x square plus, because 1 minus was already there, plus x is greater than 0. So that is x square plus 2x plus 2 should be greater than 0. So that means x square plus 2x should be greater than minus 2. Let me add plus 1 on the both sides. So this will give us x plus 1 whole square should be greater than minus 1. Now we know that the square of a real number is always greater than or equal to 0. So the number which is already greater than or equal to 0 will definitely be greater than minus 1 also. That means x belongs to minus infinity comma minus 2 will be true over here. If I put minus 2 over here, I will get 4 minus 2 as 2, which is satisfying over here. So that means we will consider a square bracket over here. Minus 2 will also be considered, because minus 2 is satisfying. We will get 4 over here. 4 minus 2 is 2, and this is 0. That means 2 is greater than 0. It is satisfying. That means I will put a square bracket over here. Now let's see the second case. It is x is greater than or equal to minus 2. Although equal to I have taken there also, but we will see. This will give us the inequality as x square minus x plus 2 plus x is greater than 0, because if I'll put any number in this interval, suppose 0, if I'll put 0 in the mod, I will get 2. 2 is already positive, so it will emit out as it is. So there is no need to do any change in this modulus. So I'll copy it as it is. So this will be x square minus x minus 2 plus x should be greater than 0. This is cancelled. So I will get x should be less than minus root 2, or x should be greater than root 2. So here the interval was greater than or equal to minus 2, and we are getting this thing. Now if I plot a number line, this is minus 2, this is minus root 2, and this is root 2. So by this interval, x less than minus root 2, this is open, this is open. Let me show it by forward lines, and this also, and this is saying should be greater than or equal to minus 2. If I put minus 2 over here, let me check the minus 2. We have taken minus 2 before also, so let me keep it open over here. It is saying greater than or equal to minus 2. Let me show it by backward slant. You can see the double shaded region will be the answer for second case. Minus 2 comma minus root 2 union root 2 comma infinity. If you put root 2 in this case, let me check for root 2, minus root 2 and plus root 2. Check for minus root 2 in the given equation. It will become inequality. It will become 2 minus root 2 plus 2 in the mod, and minus root 2. So this will be 2 minus root 2 is already positive, so it will become 2 minus root 2. Mod will be removed, minus root 2. That means 2 minus 2 plus root 2 minus root 2. This is 0, which is not greater than 0. Okay, so that is not satisfying. That means it will be, we have taken a round bracket over here, that is right. Now let's see this thing, plus root 2 also. Check for plus root 2. We will put, it will give us 2 minus 2 plus root 2. 2 plus root 2 is already positive in itself, and plus root 2. So that means 2 minus 2 minus root 2 plus root 2. Everything is cancelled. That means 0, which is not greater than 0. That means it is also not satisfying. That means this will be the case. This will be the answer for the second case. Now this is second case finally. Now either first case or second case is there. First case was this, and let me plot both the cases on the number line. First case was x belongs to minus infinity comma minus 2, and second case was x belongs to minus 2 comma minus root 2 union root 2 comma infinity. Let me draw the number line. Then this is minus 2 minus root 2 and root 2. The first is saying minus infinity comma minus 2. By forward lines I am showing. Second is saying minus 2 comma minus root 2. By backward lines I am showing. And root 2 comma infinity. Now since it is either or case, first or second, so the answer will be x belongs to first union second. So that is x belongs to minus infinity comma minus root 2, because here this is full interval, union root 2 comma infinity. This will be the answer, final answer of this inequality. So I hope it is clear to you. So this will be all for today's lecture, and we will continue further with some more good examples based on inequalities. You can see that I am following only single approach, which I have been telling you right from the starting of the chapter, modulus function, how to solve equations involving modulus function. So I don't have any second approach to solve these questions. Only one approach applies to every question. Only practice is required. So that's all for today, and thank you very much.